I wanted to spend a few minutes today with you talking about some things to think about as you're leading in times of uncertainty. So I'll start out with an introduction of myself, and then I'll talk about why I picked this topic, and then I'll dig into the meat of it, some 6 actions to think about for you as a leader. So my name is Zack Greene. I have 8 years of experience using the Gravitas coaching framework. I'm a Gravitas Impact Certified Coach. I have 17 years in public accounting, and I'm a licensed CPA and member of the American Institute of CPAs and the Maryland Association of CPAs. So when we think about leading, and especially in these times with being in the middle of a pandemic, as we're heading into an election in November in the United States, there's certainly an uncertainty in our businesses as to what's going to happen in the future. And so I thought I would spend a few minutes in this topic, be very timely, of how do we lead when we're not sure what the future holds. And so businesses need then to have strong leadership teams now more than ever in order to not just survive, but thrive. I've told a lot of people that leaders are either going to emerge from these uncertain times stronger or weaker. No one's going to come out the same. And your entire team, your business, and the team that you have is watching you, and they're watching how you react. And so it's really important to be thinking about how you're leading that team. So I'll hit 6 actions for you to think about as a leader. Be real, be transparent, be positive, be opportunistic, take care of yourself, and make sure that you're aligned on your priorities. And I'll hit them one at a time. So the first one, be real. So it starts with being vulnerable. And it's interesting when you think about vulnerability, a lot of people think that being vulnerable actually weakens you as a leader. But interestingly enough, it has the inverse effect of what you would think. When you're vulnerable with your team, it actually builds trust. It deepens relationships and it grows you into a stronger leader. There's a really good book out there by Pat Lencioni called Getting Naked that centers around this idea of being vulnerable and how it impacts leaders in a positive way. One example of being vulnerable is being okay telling your team, I don't know. When there's a question that's asked or something that's posed to you, it's okay to say, I don't know. I found that many times when I talk with leaders and I tell them, I let them know it's okay to say, I don't know. There's all of a sudden this sense of relief because we feel as leaders that we have to have all the answers right away. And that's just not necessarily the case. And we need time to think about things and contemplate different ideas. And so it's okay to say, I don't know. The next thing, be transparent. So it's really important right now to keep your team in the loop. There's so many things that we're doing as business owners to plan and to be thinking about how we're protecting our business, how we're protecting our employees' jobs, how we're protecting their health. There's lots of things going on behind the scenes, but it's really important for us as leaders to be telling our team what's happening, the things that they're not seeing. We need to communicate the planning that's happening. And so many times this communication happens in a routine monthly meeting with the whole entire office. This is the perfect time to keep them in the loop on what type of planning is happening, what strategic planning is still continuing even through these uncertain times. If you don't tell your team what you're doing and what you're planning, they're going to make up their own story as to what's going on. And it's probably not the story that you want them thinking about. So take control of that so that the team understands what's happening and how you're protecting the business and their jobs. So the next one, be positive. Positive thinking is a choice. It's all about what you decide to focus on. And so be positive. Make sure that you're being positive, especially when you're in front of your team. You got to lead by example. So they will be a reflection of you and how you're presenting yourself. So be positive. If you're positive, many times your team then will be positive. Okay, be opportunistic. Your competition right now is distracted. That could be your biggest leverage point. So take the time now to stop. Get your leadership team together and brainstorm where the opportunity is with our business. You've heard a lot of people talking about this idea of pivoting. It's the same idea. Where might your business need to pivot in the future? Things have changed. Stop, think about where the opportunity is. Okay, next, take care of yourself. If you don't take care of yourself, you can't lead your team. You can't take care of the rest of your team. You gotta make sure that you put your mental well-being as a priority. Take time to block out on your calendar time for you. Many people feel better when they exercise. So block that off on your calendar. If you need to exercise for an hour, block that off on the calendar and make it a priority. You got to make sure that you're taking care of yourself. There's a great book out there by Kevin Lawrence called Your Oxygen Mask First. And what this book talks about is that idea of when you're on a plane, when the if the plane is going down, they always tell you take care of your oxygen mask first, then help the person next to you. You got to make sure that you take care of yourself first and get aligned on your priorities. So get aligned on your business's purpose. So your purpose is why you exist as a business. Get aligned on your core values. Your core values are how you behave as a business. And then think about where you want to go in the long term and plan for that. Many businesses right now, the way in which they're serving their clients has changed. And so has your long-term plan changed? Get your team in the room, brainstorm where you want to go, and then that will inform the things that you're going to be spending time on now. But make sure that you're aligned. I've seen many leadership teams through this pandemic have to take a time out and think about where they're not aligned and where they want to go, and then refocus. All of these things, the purpose, the core values, the long-term planning, all of those things are a filter for how you make decisions now, the here and now. So to summarize the 6 actions that we talked about when you're leading: be real, be transparent, be positive. Your team will react to your positiveness, and that positiveness will filter to them. Be opportunistic. Where is the opportunity right now? Take care of yourself and make sure that you're aligned on your priorities and where you're going. So again, my name is Zack Greene. My phone number is 443-321-5707, and my email is up on the screen. I'd love to talk with you. If you have any questions or want to talk about any of the things that I went over today. Thank you.